Hey everybody, did you hear the news? It's Daniel's Manga Reviews. Today on Daniel's Manga Reviews, I'm reviewing Monster Musume, which it's smut. Well, let's just say it's smut. Pure, straight, simple. Thing is, I bought this manga back in South Georgia a few weeks ago, week before last, with the pure intention of reviewing it, among other things. I had to censor certain parts of this book, well, like that one. Yeah, because it gets a little not good for kids. That's for sure. Another reason I picked this specific manga is because it's really different from the manga I'm used to reading. It's not a shonen manga. It's not action. This manga is actually a harem manga, meaning there's a one dude protagonist and he's circled by a bunch of female protagonists. It's wish fulfillment for virgins. This particular harem is about monster girls, hence its title, which I guess is pretty good if you like that kind of thing. Okay, kind of a bizarre choice, really. I censored out the cover of this. The cover's tame, it's just cleavage for the most part. But this is the Snapchat version of the show, not the HBO version. I censored this book for the general public. I figured some people would feel uncomfortable if I saw this. Also, like, little children watch. Although, quite frankly, that just implies anybody watches the show at all. I'm not making any money off of this, you know. As I pointed out earlier, the main protagonist of this series is this dude. This just a normal human dude. He lives in a house full of monster women. As a harem would imply, all of the female protagonists want to do it with the human guy, and it's really bizarre, honestly, it's in my opinion. Actually, are there no male Naga or male centaur? You never know because he's the only man who shows up in this entire series. Well, at least this book anyway. The book itself doesn't really have any huge big plot. There's not villains or anything. It's just sort of a collection of stories. Most of the stories in here aren't really dramatic or serious by any means. You're not gonna see any big combat moments like Dragon Ball. It's mostly just cute stories. Some of the stories are just completely lewd, hence my censoring. You know, a lot of fans of Eki in the audience, probably gonna complain. Daniel, we want to see big anime titties. Well, you know what? Buy the manga. Support the industry. Okay, God. Would I recommend this manga? If you're looking for a harem manga and you just have monster girls, yeah. But really, there's nothing else to it. Frankly, it's not like the last manga I reviewed where there was characters and settings and plot. There was a big universe. This is sort of just stories. Honestly, it's mostly just sort of lewd fantasy stories that a dude would have. It's nothing spectacular. But then again, I wasn't really expecting Tolkien-esque writing when I picked this up. I had a feeling it was going to be the same sort of Luddite stuff you see in the manga markets. Really is interesting about this series is how there's actually certain distinctions for monsters. There's different types of centaur, there's different types of mummy, there's different types of zombies. There's also bits where they kind of try to distinguish them, some harpies have eagle wings, some of them have swan wings, things like that. I think all in all, this is an alright read. It's nothing spectacular. You're not going to be blown away I feel like you would with One Piece. Like I said, you feel cute stories with cute, monster girls, and if you like that kind of thing, yeah, sure, go for it. Quite frankly, there's a lot more interesting manga out there to read. But then again, I don't really know much about harem manga. I'm not a huge fan of that stuff. I like more dramas and action stuff. Just to introduce sort of a pointless rating system for the show, I give it maybe 2.5 out of 5, if I had to give it a number. Sort of a new bit I want to do for the show was extra. Sometimes mangas have extra artwork and just sketches, kind of like that stuff, you know. This particular one came with these little, sort of trading cards, or not really trading cards, they're just these big art cards, I guess. Kind of neat. Yeah. That pretty much wraps up this review. Come back next week when I review One Punch Man. Almost forgot about saying before I ended this episode, feel free to suggest me a manga to review, and feel free to donate me some, because, like I said in the first episode, I'm going to run out soon. Rufus, say hello to the audience. Honestly, Rufus, you're like the most interesting character in Daniel's manga review. Honestly.